Alright guys, this is my workshop, or at least what's left of it at the moment. Hard waste collection is coming up soon, and I've got a lot of hard waste in here. More importantly, this space here never used to be occupied, and I have some projects to do. The place, I would say, looks like a bomb hit it. It's a phrase that I use often. I need to organize all sorts of stuff. I still have a whole bunch of Amiga bits and pieces here, and an Amiga 2000 and a whole box of hard to get bits and pieces for it, including heaps of these 880k floppies that go with it. They're not 720k, they're 880, they're an unusual size. I've got a CPC 6128 up there. I've got the monochrome monitor for it up here. Some rats have moved in the top here. I've got to clean everything out. I even have things like, old RF modulators and stuff laying around randomly. I've got casting material. I've got Land Rover bits. I've got an old X-ray machine that just randomly showed up. So, and these big speakers and computer bits everywhere. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with all of this stuff, but I think I need to start throwing things out. I can't move for stuff, and I can't use my space. Now I've got a generator. I've got a bloody 2 sewing machines, some lead X-ray plates, and like a half a dozen DVRs I'm never going to use. I should give them away, actually. I know some people that could use them. And cables that have been sitting here for, let me think, 21 years. That I've been dragging them from house to house. And old, what's this? This is an old camera system. This has got a little pinhole camera and a Raspberry Pi and solar regulator and battery and everything in it. All sorts of stuff that long past projects, and I still need to get to this $800 clutch here to put into the 4x4 Parenti. I have a PC-21 flying overhead, that's what you can hear. One of the new Roulette's aircrafts. Oh, aircraft, plural. So yeah, we've got to make a start on this somewhere. No idea what I'm going to do with any of this stuff. I need to do a laser cutting job soon too. Yeah, and I need to put that floppy in here because sometimes people give me jobs on floppy disks still. So yeah. No idea absolutely at all where to start. So yeah, I don't know if this is going to make it into a video or not. And I have this 2000 Newton linear actuator in here as well. Just because. So yeah, well, we've got to get this cleaned up. Be interested to know, this is just a quick little update because we're in lockdown and I have a whole bunch of things going on at the time. And this is one thing I'm just coming in here to take stock of. So I'm making a quick bit of an update video on this. It's not as quick as it could be. But yeah, it gives you guys some idea of where we're up to. I also have another video that's been in the making. There is one that I do need to pick up, and it's a robot that my father made rather. This is not the robot. This is an analog synthesizer that my father started building years ago, and he was happy to donate it to me. But it was based on a synthesizer chip demonstration board, and he was trying to get the wiring laid out to turn it into a synthesizer. Handy bit of gear, but this is an SN79477M, I think, from Texas Instruments. Not the most convenient of chip to turn into a synthesizer, but it was available at the time. These days there are better chips. I'm thinking about maybe sticking an Arduino in here with that's been set up as a MIDI controller that's designed to take all these interfaces, and maybe bringing that into the 20th or 21st century now. Jeez. But yes, he also built a robot around about that era too, inspired by R2-D2, and I want to automate it. I've got some microwave sensors and stuff to use. This is, what have we got here? This is out of a BAE Systems radar station that was used in a nearby local RAF base before it was decommissioned, along with a lot of other bits and pieces I've got up here from switches and controls that I used on my desk module. I have an ancient 30 meg MFM hard drive up there somewhere, or might even be 20 meg, and I have a whole bunch of old keyboards, old power supplies, most of which are knackered. So I need to go through and triage all of those and get rid of the ones that are knackered. And I've even got, there's all sorts of interesting stuff buried in here I need to pull out and organise. That computer is from a now deceased friend. The Amiga 2000 came from a now deceased friend. The Amstrad came from a now deceased friend. The top half of this shelf is stuff that has been donated. Well, aside from the hammocks and stuff up there, a lot of the stuff on this shelf has came from people that are now no longer with us. And this is the trouble I've had coming into here so much, is I'm still dealing with the loss of some of these people, and being a little on the autistic spectrum, loss is a challenge to deal with. I tend to just shut it down. So I've pretty well walked away from this and not done a lot of things out here for the last few years, not in any great length, because I'm still trying to figure out how to deal with that loss. So and there's loss of a non-human nature as well. Like this stuff, this is a lead-free bearing metal, but this comes from a briquette press factory that I'm now watching get blown up. And I helped with the company that remetaled those bearings on at least one occasion. I actually went out there. I sat, laid in the oil in the sump in the bottom of the bearing, where 400 kilogram bearing halves were lowered down on a crane next to me. So that's dealing with the loss of not being able to go back to that and not being able to do that kind of work anymore because of multiple sclerosis. And there are other things that now stress me, like the sheer volume of maintenance I have to do with all these military vehicles. And I noticed that when I look at the oil extractor here, that I realise I've got at least 3 oil changes to do, and chains and grease on the Argo as well. And just so much stuff. And I've got an alternator on a Jeep to do. I hate Jeeps, at least modern ones anyway. So this gives you a bit of an overview of why there's a bit of time delay between my videos at the moment. And all of Victoria is in statewide lockdown for the next few weeks as well. And I have an infusion for my Tysabri for multiple sclerosis coming up next week. And I'm only just getting on top of the rash at the moment. That is the side effect of having that. I'm just getting on top of the last one, and I'll be going and getting another infusion, and that will flare up again too. So life gets a little stressful. And I have random ram sticks just laying around here everywhere too. I've almost got as many ram sticks as rats. So we'll figure this out. My apprentice has found me too. You can hear her yelling in the background there. So alright, I'll leave this here, and we'll hopefully come back to a more interesting video soon. But I'm just trying to keep this channel active with a video every day or so, or at least a short, just to keep everybody happy, I guess. I'm not making money off this. I did make 1,000 subscribers just recently, thanks to Tinkerman Mick, which means I will monetize the channel, but only because Google, aka YouTube, has also announced they're going to monetize every video regardless. So it's really in my best interest to get a little cut of that. But this is not a for-profit channel. I'm happy that you guys are coming along for the ride, but I don't specifically care if people like my videos or not. I'm doing this to leave a legacy whilst I still can, because MS, with its variable nature, I have relapsing remitting MS, which means just at random something crazy might go wrong, and I might not be able to continue making these videos. So, leaving a legacy, and we'll see what happens. And, that is the old. This is one thing I've just noticed. I replaced the indicator stalks in the 6-wheel drive ambulance, the Parenti ambulance. And when I turn for a right-hand turn, and I do this, it resets in the wrong direction. So I'm going to have to see what's different about the two. Anyway, we'll leave this video here, and we'll carry on with another one fairly soon. So Hope you've had fun. We'll be back with a real video soon enough.